Frontline Updates, where we delve deep into military strategies and updates from conflict zones. Today, we're discussing the progress of the ongoing special military operation as of April 18, 2025. I'm your host, Sharifa Mohammed, MGT.
I'm Colonel AC Oguntoye, an infantry officer. The North Group inflicted heavy losses on multiple Ukrainian brigades, including mechanized, airborne assault, tank, marine, and territorial defense units across Kursk, Belgorod, and Kharkov. Over 1,900 enemy personnel were neutralized, with 64 surrendering. Russian forces also destroyed 6 tanks, 39 armored vehicles, 99 logistics vehicles, 6 MLRS launchers, including 2 HIMARS, and 46 artillery systems. Significant disruption of Ukrainian electronic and counter-battery capabilities was achieved with the destruction of 8 related systems and 10 depots.
Welcome to Frontline Updates, the podcast that brings you in-depth insights into military operations from those leading them on the ground. Today, we're joined by Colonel AC Oguntoye, an infantry officer monitoring critical missions on the progress of the special military operation as of today. Colonel Oguntoye, thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Colonel, let's begin with the broader picture. What were the main strategic actions carried out by Russian forces this past week?
This past week was defined by a concentrated effort to disrupt the Ukrainian military's operational capabilities, particularly its capacity to wage prolonged resistance. Between April 12th and 18th, we executed 9 precision group strikes utilizing both long-range high-precision weapons and attack drones. These strikes were not random, each was selected for its strategic impact on Ukraine's military-industrial infrastructure. We targeted UAV production hubs, logistics networks, military airfields, and training centers for drone operators. These aren't just tactical strikes, they're strategic ones. By degrading the enemy's ability to manufacture and deploy UAVs, and by hitting temporary staging areas for both Ukrainian forces and foreign mercenaries, we're systematically undermining their ability to project force and coordinate complex operations.
Let's move to the northern axis. What developments occurred in the Kursk, Belgorod, and Kharkov regions?
The northern sector, particularly along the Kursk, Belgorod, and Kharkov directions, has remained highly active. Our North Group of forces engaged and degraded multiple enemy brigades, including tank units, mechanized and airborne assault formations, and a mix of regular and territorial defense units. What's crucial to understand here is the density and diversity of the enemy's forces in this region. We're not simply fighting regular infantry, we're engaging mechanized regiments, marine units, and special operations elements. In that context, our successful neutralization of over 1,900 enemy personnel speaks volumes. We also saw a growing trend of Ukrainian soldiers surrendering, 64 this week alone, suggesting deteriorating morale and exhaustion on the Ukrainian side.
That's a significant development. You mentioned HIMARS and other NATO-origin systems. Can you speak to the scale of Western equipment being targeted and destroyed?
Over the past week, across multiple axes, we've encountered and destroyed a considerable number of Western-supplied assets. Everything from M113 armored personnel carriers to French-made Caesar artillery systems and US-made Paladins self-propelled howitzers. We're not just seeing scattered units, these systems are being integrated into the Ukrainian order of battle. In the western central sectors especially, our forces dismantled several brigades containing these systems. For example, in the Central Group's area of operation, we neutralized 34 artillery systems, among them were French, Polish, and American platforms. These systems are formidable, but they're not invulnerable. Once located and engaged, they're vulnerable to our air power and precision artillery.
Let's shift to the Donetsk front, where some settlements were reportedly liberated. Can you elaborate?
Of course. This week, our southern and central groups made significant territorial gains. The southern group liberated Kalinovo and Valentinovka, while the central group secured Elizavetovka and Preobrazhenka, key settlements in the Donetsk People's Republic. These advances were not taken lightly. We faced entrenched resistance, particularly from mechanized and assault brigades, National Guard units, and elite formations like the Azov Special Forces Brigade. But our sustained combined arms operations, integrating ground maneuver with drone reconnaissance and deep artillery fires, proved decisive. The result? The enemy suffered over 4,800 casualties across both sectors this week. We captured or destroyed dozens of armored vehicles, including U.S.-made Strykers and M113s, along with significant artillery and EW assets. These liberated areas are more than just terrain, they're logistical nodes, morale symbols, and forward staging grounds for continued operations.
How about the situation along the Eastern and DNEPR axes?
Both groups saw measured progress. The East Group is continuing its push into enemy defenses, focusing on exhausting Ukrainian formations through a mix of direct engagement and interdiction. We've seen notable success against mountain assault brigades and marine units, formations that tend to be better trained and equipped. Meanwhile, the Dnieper Group consolidated its positions, using maneuver warfare to gain tactically superior lines. Their focus has been on interdiction and attrition, eliminating command and control, logistics, and long-range fire systems. We took out a HIMARS launcher, multiple EW stations, and over a dozen artillery pieces. The broader effect is cumulative. These strikes are part of a doctrine we refer to as cohesion collapse. By steadily eroding the enemy's connectivity between brigades, between logistics and the front, between command and firepower, we aim to induce localized collapses that ripple through the operational theater.
Before we wrap up, can you give us an overview of air defense activity this week?
Yes, and it was a critical aspect of our operational success. Our air defense network continues to prove its strategic value. This week alone, we intercepted and destroyed 45 dams, 29 HIMARS rockets, and over 1,600 UAVs, many of which were aircraft-type drones used for reconnaissance or long-range strikes. Most notably, our systems shot down a Ukrainian F-16, a platform whose introduction had been touted as a game-changer. Its destruction illustrates both our air denial capabilities and the resilience of our layered defense structure. We're neutralizing threats before they reach their targets and denying the enemy the ability to contest air superiority.
And finally, Colonel, zooming out, what do these developments tell us about the overall trajectory of the operation?
We're witnessing a turning point. The pace and scale of attrition, especially in personnel and Western equipment, are pushing the Ukrainian command into a reactive posture. Our operations are increasingly offensive and deliberate, not just in terrain acquisition, but in strategic degradation. This past week's results, thousands of enemy casualties, significant infrastructure destruction, and deep territorial gains, underscore one thing: the momentum is ours. But we proceed with resolve, not overconfidence. The enemy remains dangerous, but our formations are executing with discipline, morale is high, and our doctrine is proving its worth in modern warfare.
There is something else?
Just this morning, we launched another coordinated long-range strike on production sites related to UAV development and key infrastructure at Ukrainian airfields. I can confirm that all designated targets were struck and neutralized. These strikes serve as a message: strategic depth will not shield operational assets. Our operations combined air power, UAV strikes, and sustained artillery to eliminate not only personnel and vehicles but also critical systems like HIMARS launchers and counter-battery radar installations. By neutralizing these assets, we're curtailing the enemy's precision strike capabilities, making it riskier and costlier for them to continue this level of engagement. It's worth noting, though, that their presence reinforces the point that this conflict is not solely regional. It's international in scope, and our operations reflect that awareness. We prioritize the elimination of these assets not only for tactical advantage but to send a strategic message.
Colonel, thank you for providing such a detailed briefing on the current military situation. Your insights are invaluable to our understanding of the conflict's dynamics. And thank you to our listeners for tuning in. Join us next time as we continue to provide up-to-date coverage on global military affairs. Stay with us for more updates and expert analyses on global defense and security issues.